What is the future of America? My name is Richard Boyk, and I would like to share my thoughts on what's behind the Democrat Party's tax and spend policy. Economics 101 teaches us that we only have so much money to spend, that we need to be careful not to overspend or use our credit cards to go further in debt. The further in debt we go, the less money we have for the essentials in life, like food, rent, mortgage, transportation costs, and educational needs. To the normal person, this seems reasonable and makes sense. So why is it so hard for the Democrat Party to understand something so simple? Unfortunately, I believe they do understand it. Their goal in life is not to make people better off, but to control the environment so people depend on the government for survival. A good example of this has been our government-run welfare programs. Instead of providing those in need with the skills needed to get ahead in life so that they can find a higher paying job, the government provides them with food, housing, home energy, childcare, and some job training. These measures are meant to help people survive, not to get ahead in life. And they create an endless cycle of dependency on the government. When a government pushes for regulations and mandates that are economically killing, and most are, it only leads to more control. Regulations and mandates also cause prices of goods to increase, putting more hardship on the people. Mandates like those imposed by President Biden on the electric vehicles will cost you an average of $13,000 more to purchase an electric vehicle over a gas-powered vehicle. On top of this, the federal government will give you a $75,000 rebate, which only leads to more inflation and more U.S. debt. California has arguably the most regulations when it comes to gasoline, which costs the California driver around $1.50 more per gallon, or $18,000 for every 12,000 miles they drive. Now, Vice President Harris wants to give all first-time home buyers $25,000 to help them buy that first home. This comes out to $1.25 trillion for every 50,000 homes purchased. And it only leads to more inflation and higher home prices for everyone. Many experts believe this will cause all home prices to go up by $25,000. This only results in higher monthly rent or mortgage payments, which will cause more home buyers to wait longer before they can purchase a new home. As the President of the Senate, Vice President Harris cast a tie-breaking vote on two major spending bills, the Inflation Reduction Act and the American Rescue Plan, at a cost of at least $2 trillion. These two spending bills helped the U.S. inflation go from around 2% to 9.1% in only a year and a half. She is also proposing price fixing in the food industry. President Nixon did this in 1970, and it only led to a food shortage and higher inflation. Russia and Venezuela both have tried this. Both had food lines, food shortages, and inflation. Venezuela also went from one of the best economies in the world to one of the worst. Couple this with a proposal to increase the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. Experts indicate this will cause over 128,000 jobs to be lost. So why does the Democrat Party like tax and spend? My simple answer is that they spend money to buy votes and increase taxes to make it harder to be self-sufficient, thus reliant on the government and finally controlled by the government. Is it not time to look for solutions instead of putting a bandage on the problem and blaming others? The Democrat Party says they are the party of the middle class, but they are not. More taxes and more spending kills the middle class and those that work hard to have a better life than their parents. We need lower taxes, less wasteful spending, and we need to have a plan to reduce the debt each year until we have a surplus of revenue. We must not only elect Donald J. Trump as our next president, but we must also elect real conservatives to Congress. We cannot afford to have a liberal federal court system or a liberal Supreme Court. All our court decisions must be based on the Constitution and the laws of the land. Thank you for watching and listening, and please subscribe to my podcast and share this with your friends. May God bless you, your family, and the United States of America.